Hello everyone, welcome to my booktube. So I am a big romance reader and I love all things to do with books, so if you like that sort of thing, don't forget to subscribe and let's get on to the video. So for today's video I'm going to be doing a what I've read in September 2024, and let me tell you, some of these books, chef's kiss. So for the past couple of months I've not actually been picking up a lot of books, or none at all to be honest, because I've been in a really big reader slump. So I thought, you know what, let's reread another book that I really like and see if it gets me out of it. So I did. So I reread Two Wrongs Make a Right. Now this book, oh, I love it, and Jamie is my book boyfriend. I fucking love him. This does have neurodivergent characters in, so B has autism and Jamie has social anxiety, and I feel like a lot of people can relate to that sort of thing. I've not really heard anybody talking about this book anywhere, not on booktube, not on book talk, and I'm like, why? Because it's such a good book. So the tropes in this book are enemies to lovers, matchmaking, opposites attract, and fake dating. Jamie and B first meet at a mutual friends party, and that's where it sort of begins. So she is very much like, oh, I don't want to go to this party, I don't really want to know, and he, because he's got social anxiety, is like, oh, I don't really want to be around people, I just want to sit and read a book and just be left alone. However, they decide to go to this party, they then end up playing this game and all the friends are in it to matchmake them together. However, they're like, no, I don't really care for either of you, like, go away, leave me alone. And they end up getting stuck in a closet because they play this game of hide and seek or something like that, I can't remember what it was, but it's something like that, and they end up getting stuck in a closet because they decided to hide in the same place and the door gets stuck. And then she starts to have a little bit of a panic attack because she's claustrophobic and she can't get out, and that's where the forced proximity is coming into force. In the middle of the book, they begin to realise that their friends are trying to matchmake them together, and they're like, what on earth is going on? I'm fuming, like, why are they trying to do this? So they decide to fake date each other and pretend with their friends that they're actually going out, and they do all these different activities, but they realise that actually they're getting closer and closer and they've got a lot of stuff in common. I think I connected with the book more because of how they were as people, and because I connected with the book, I think that's why I loved it so much. So it also talks about both of them having toxic relationships as well, and I feel like a lot of people can relate to that and all. And yeah, I loved it from beginning to end. Everything about it was just, there's not a lot of spice in it, there's a little bit, and there's a few scenes of spiciness. I think it's more of a little bit of a fluffy romance than a spicy romance. So, and I love the fact that it's written in first person as well, so you can see it from the character's perspective, and it's got dual point of view because it talks within Jamie's side as well as B's side. And I just, oh, I could not recommend this book any more than I already do because I scream about it all the time and I love it. So yeah, that is the first book I read in September. So the next book I read was Night Shift. Now this has been on my TBR for quite a while and I've not really picked it up. I did actually take it on holiday, but I never actually started it, and I so wish I did, because this book, oh my god, I love this book. So this is actually a YA romance, so if you like your YA romances and your sport romances, then this might be for you. This book did remind me a lot of the After series, and if you have read this book and you have read the After series, then you'll probably know what I mean. Some of the things in it are very cross-related, and I was like, oh, this sounds like the After series. I believe this is from Wattpad. I'm not 100% sure, that's what I've heard. It's a Wattpad story, so that's probably why, and it's come into a book. But let me tell you, I wish I'd have picked this up ages ago, because oh, I would give this book like 4.95, and the only reason I gave it like 4.95 instead of 5 stars is because I feel like I wanted a bit more drama in it. I feel like with this book there was something that had happened, and then within the next chapter it all got like demolished. I was like, oh, that was quick. I want a bit more drama, a bit more suspense sometimes when it comes to romance like this. So that's the only reason that I gave it like a 4.95. So the next one, I have probably about 4 chapters left, so I'm still going to talk about it because I'm not very far off, and it's a couple of days till the end of September, so I'm still going to talk about it. This book, oh my god. So this is called This Spells Love by Kate Robb. Again, not heard anybody talking about it, and I'm like, why? It is so fucking good. So this book is a magical romance, and it's a fantasy sort of, but it does go more into the love. I won't really say it was fantasy, but it is a little bit, because it's got like a magical theme to it. So this is about a girl that has a best friend, and she's currently split up with her ex-boyfriend, and she's wallowing over it, and she's like, oh, I so wish I never met him, and I wish things were different, blah blah blah. So her best friend actually came from the fact that she met her ex-boyfriend. So she met them both at the pub, or whatever it was, club, something like that, and they are still friends, but obviously them two have split. Her nonna is into crystals and like spells and stuff like that. That's why it's called This Spells Love, and they do a love sort of spell to try and help her to look at life differently with a different person. So obviously her best friend is involved, and this is where it starts to all change, because then one day she wakes up and she's in a parallel universe where she's never met this man in her life, and now her best friend doesn't even recognise her, which is like, so she has to try and get her best friend back again to try and develop something and see if anything goes. But actually she works out that she has actually been in love with her best friend for the past however many years they've been friends. This is my 4th day of reading this book, and I know that full well I'll finish it tonight and it will be done and it will be dusted and everything, but oh, I love it, and I think it's just going to be 5 stars straight away. I love this book, and if you are into your like paranormal fantasy sort of thing, it's not a scary one obviously, it's more of a like just a wish, you know, like a swish and flick sort of magic sort of book, and I really like that. I think I've read 2 books that have been like that and I've loved them. With This Kiss and This Spells Love is very similar in the way that they talk about paranormal, no, not paranormal, but like a spiritual way of talking about stuff. And this I absolutely love, because I love all the spiritual side and stuff like that, so I think that's why I love this book. And obviously it's romance. I've not heard anybody talk about this, not one single person talk about this book anywhere, and let me tell you why, because it's so good. But anyway, that is the 3rd book I read in September. And then I actually have an audiobook. So I have started audiobooks because I wasn't picking up any physical books. I thought, you know what, let's try an audiobook. So I've actually been using an app called BookBeat, and that has been the platform that I've been using to read or listen to audiobooks on. And I've been currently reading the 2nd part of a series called The Wiener Across the Way. Now the first book was called Cop Down the Block, and the second one is The Wiener Down the Way. So again, I've never heard anybody talk about this, but they are strictly only audiobooks, which is really sad because I actually really enjoy both of them, and I would like to own the physical copies, but they're obviously not available as physical copies, but maybe in the future they are. So this is a writer that writes about plus size girls and those that get with like NFL players and a bit more of the unstereotypical people they are supposed to get with. So for example, like the buff boys and, you know, gym boys and all that sort of stuff. So this one is about a girl that is a pop star, and she is a well-known pop star in the world, and he is a well-known NFL player. So he's part of the Kingman brothers, and she is a well-known pop star that's all around the world. However, she's just split up with a boyfriend, or her ex-boyfriend, and there's something that goes off in the air that they want to have a fake dating scenario, and it is actually for the media at the time, but they realise actually they are falling in love with each other and they really like each other. The wiener bit of the story actually reverts to her pet. So this woman does write about animals and plus size girls. So her pet is called Pooh, which is a wiener dog. So like a Dachshund dog, sausage dog, whatever you want to call it. And obviously Cop Down the Block was again to do with a cockerel that the girl owned to the pets. So that's why they're called that way. Obviously it's a spin-off, it's a spin on like a innuendo, but obviously that's what it is about. And I really like that story. Again, some parts was a little bit cringy in some of it, but I do like it at the same time. They are all the books that I have read / listened to, and I think I've done really, really well, because like I say, for the past couple of months I've been in the biggest reader slump and I've not picked any books up, and then all of a sudden I've read 4. So it's not the biggest amount of books compared to some people, because some people read loads of books, but 4 is quite a lot for me, especially being in a big reader slump. So yeah, let me know what books you have read this month and which one was your favourite. Hope you did enjoy this video. Please give it a big thumbs up if you did. Don't forget to subscribe, and I shall see you in my next one. Bye.